This is from a website called armedconflicts.com about the Grand Mufti. It says, okay,
But I'll read it. But
yeah,
I wanted to show the folks at home that there were literal from all the Nazis that actually escaped after World War II. I want to talk about the ones that ended up in Egypt and
sure
in
we
the
can.
Middle East who
Yeah,
converted
sure.
to Islam and
Yeah,
started PLO. Could we talk about that?
yeah, we
Okay.
can. But I just want to read. There's a specific thing that I want people to
Yeah.
hear. Um, okay. A member of prominent Arab Jerusalem family, he held the office of the Grand Mufti from 1921 to 1948 and was a leading figure in the resistance to Zionism and the creation of the Jewish state. In 1937, following a visit by a German delegation led by Adolf Eichmann to Palestine, al-Husseini expressed his solidarity with Germany, asking the Third Reich to oppose the creation of a Jewish state, stopping Jewish immigration to Palestine, providing weapons to its Arab militias. In it, the Nazis recognized allies against the British influence in the Middle East. All his demands were met, and the Arabs received weapons and money from Germany and Italy for anti-Jewish operations. After the assassination attempt at the Inspector General of the British Police, as well as the murders of hundreds, especially Jews, but also Arabs, the position of the Grand Mufti became unsustainable. Also, they like eliminated this whole thing. He lost his post as president of the Arab Supreme Council and was forced to flee to Syria. In Syrian exile, the exiled Grand Mufti limited himself to lively correspondence and personal meetings with his followers and sympathizers in the Arab world. As a religious leader, he also openly interpreted Muslim. Okay, fine. Blah blah blah. It says he interpreted Muslim holy books in favor of Nazism and fascism. He emphasized the ideological harmony of Nazism and Islam. When King Ghazi I of Iraq died in a car accident on April 3rd, 1939, Rashid Ali al-Khailai, a sympathizer of Nazi Germany, who maintained very close ties with al-Husseini, became prime minister. The former Grand Mufti arrived in Baghdad in early 1940, and although he was not officially authorized by anyone, he immediately began acting as a representative of the Iraqi government. Germany and Italy were also openly offered supplies of Iraqi oil, along with the dismissal of British companies and expulsion of British military garrisons. Hitler calculated with the rapid and complete success of the Axis armies in North Africa, and their supply of Iraqi oil seemed very promising. The uprising of the quote free French, who with British support quickly occupied the hitherto dominated Lebanon and Syria, put a definitive end to the plans not only of Hitler and Mussolini, but also the former Grand Mufti of al-Husseini. He fled from the British to Italy. In 1941, November, his truly memorable meeting with Adolf Hitler took place in Berlin. The leader of the German nation accepted the Mufti with all honors as the real head of the Allied state. Hitler was honored with the title of Honorable Muslim, and he was awarded the title of Honorable Aryan by the Mufti. Later, Hitler even called al-Husseini a leader of the Arab world. So it makes you think. We were talking to Roseanne yesterday about why would the Mufti have the authority to award Hitler with the Honorable Aryan? It's interesting, right? Later, Hitler even called al-Husseini
Can you explain that a little bit more? Like
because Aryan comes from Iran, or Iran comes from Aryan, so they're the real Aryans.
no. So what was the award and who awarded who? Say just
Hitler was honored with the title of Honorable Muslim,
by
and also by the Mufti, and also of Honorable Aryan.
and he accepted that award.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Later, Hitler even called al-Husseini a leader of the Arab world. He promised Hitler al-Husseini that he promised Hitler that he would recruit 500,000 Arab troops for him, but the collapse of the Axis forces in Africa made it impossible for him to fulfill the plan. The Arab Brigade, made up of several thousand Arab refugees and immigrants, was actually established, but after being sent to the Eastern Front, it disappeared without a trace on the Caucasian Front, so it was probably completely destroyed. Thanks to the Mufti's mass propaganda, which is spread throughout Europe through collaborators from reporters, executives to field workers, the German army in southern Russia and the Caucasus was accepted by local Muslim tribes as an ally and liberator. Auxiliary and combat units were also formed in Mufti's call. After Heinrich Himmler appointed him Gruppenführer, Lieutenant General of the SS, he began to personally organize the recruitment of the Muslims to the SS. Hussein recruited at least 30,000 troops for Hitler. Some Arabs were even among the last faithful to defend the leader's headquarters in Berlin. After the collapse of Nazi Germany in the spring of '45, Mufti tried unsuccessfully to flee to Switzerland before Hitler's death. Was identified as an undesirable high-ranking official of the Nazi regime and returned to Germany. There, he was briefly imprisoned by the French, but soon fled to Egypt, and where he was accepted as a national hero. It was in Egypt that the former Grand Mufti. One more sentence.
It's all the Mufti, everything you're talking about.
Yeah. It was in Egypt that the former Grand Mufti of Jerusalem had already prepared a safe haven, and it is no coincidence that he was followed here by numerous other Nazi chiefs. There you go. That's what you wanted to talk about. Now it talks about Croatia, weapons. The SS division, Mountain Weapons Division, Croatia. There's Albania division. There's another coalition. There's East Turkish Union SS. Unbelievable. I mean, we knew about this, but
I remember when I was growing up in Brooklyn. There are Albanian kids there.
Mm-hmm.
I had Albanian neighbors, which are nice. Yeah. But I remember seeing some. This is in junior high school. This Albanian kid run up to an elderly person who he interpreted as being a Jew. Right? I don't really know, but the Albanian kid thought that he was a Jew, and he said, "Hitler's coming! Hitler's coming!" Like that. Like that was very funny.
Hilarious.
And I've seen that. I've seen elements of that. With Albanians, just because I grew up with a lot of them in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know, like, things start coming together, after a while. Like, things start making sense. Because I was wondering, I was like, what does this Albanian kid have to do with Jews and Hitler? Like, what does that have to do with him? You understand? Like, it's odd. Like, why does he, you think about, like, let's say a German or a Nazi thinking about Jews and Jews thinking about Nazis and Germans, but what is it now? It's sort of like, where's your dog in this fight? Why are you saying Hitler? Why are you even... Like, why is this on your consciousness? I never understood that until very recently.
Yeah. So let's get into you mentioned the Nazis who were in Egypt,
who fled. I mean, that's a good place to start for sure. So no, it's amazing that the Jews of Iraq, folks, he organized an October 7th for them.
Yeah.
Like what happened
1941?
The same Mufti. This SS high commander, right? What was his title again in the SS?
Something like a Führer, Gruppenführer, like Lieutenant General. That's crazy.
Lieutenant Führer of the SS.
Folks, I'm going to say this as a sentence, and I'm going to make it into a meme. The founder of the Palestinian national movement was a general in Hitler's army.
Literally.
I'm going to say it again. The founder of the Palestinian national movement, the thing that you want to give, you give these people a state, two-state solution, the poor Palestinians, ceasefire, all this stuff, or as they say in German, nicht schießen, don't shoot, is a Nazi.
Yasser Arafat was his nephew.
It makes the Oscars Nazis. It makes half of Hollywood, more than half. Yasser Arafat is his nephew. It makes you all, folks. It makes you all Nazis. Hollywood are Nazis.
Mahmoud Abbas.
Yeah.
The guy who is the current. Is he still the leader of the PLO?
He's just like a de facto, whatever.
He's still there. He's still alive, right?
Yeah. He is.
The guy who took over for Yasser Arafat was also a student of the Mufti. He was. All right.
He wrote a Holocaust denial master's thesis in Soviet University, in Patrice Lumumba University.
So folks, the Arabs, the PLO, like the people who call themselves the Palestinians, right? They're special Arabs. They're not even like even the other Arabs, Jews, right? They're no friends. There's no love lost.
Yeah.
Still look at the Palestinian Arabs as especially special.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it's really unbelievable. Yeah. All right. You know what?
There's an article I found, but I wanna. Oh, it's posted on LinkedIn because they have like a paywall
of the actual Germans who moved, the Nazis who went to Egypt, not the Arab Nazis. German
No,
Nazis.
no, 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 no. It's called the Nazi influence in Egypt, and I think, uh, yeah, there's a paywall for this article. It seems like a very good
I might seem a bit
article.
animated, folks, but like how else are you supposed to like react to like they're Nazis anyway?
Yeah, yeah. Well, here, there's another here. Nazis in Cairo. Oh, there's like PDF. This is like some sort of thing over here. I wish I could open this. What's it called? This article, because there's a paywall here. Maybe if I just do like the free trial. Let's see.
By the way, they're way worse than Nazis because they're actually Nazis mixed with Marxists now.
Yeah.
Because Yasser Arafat was a Nazi, the disciple of and the family member of an SS, but who was educated by the KGB and his whole
Yeah.
movement funded by them. So all those things coming together, all these Gnostic evil cults bent on world destruction coming together, and they coalesced in the Islamo-fascists.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see. Maybe there's a here. Maybe there's a thing called God's Tombs and Nazis. The Third Reich's bad relationship with Egypt. Oh, this is like Egyptology. Oh, this is like connecting to Raiders of Lost Ark and all that kind of stuff. It's interesting, actually. There's a whole other thing. Let's see. Hold on. There's got to be like YouTube videos on this whole thing. Here you go. Underground layer. What's up?
Did you Google like Nazis fled to Egypt? See what happens?
Yeah, 1 second. Nazis in the Middle East. Secret war against the Nazis for the Middle East. Neo-Nazis. Influence. Hold on a second. Let's do like because you have all these rocket scientists, the underemployed German and Nazi rocket scientists, jet engine technicians, military. This is the beginning of the article. Military leaders, chemical engineers, propagandists, and other specialists on the international market. While many were snapped by the Americans and Soviets voluntarily or otherwise, there was no shortage left for countries such as Argentina and Egypt. Unbelievable. Nazis on the Nile. Crazy, man. This was an acolyte of Joseph Goebbels. This was a man. His name was Johann von Leers.
There it is.
Nazi propagandist and ideologue, honorary Sturmbannführer in the Waffen SS, and baby-faced anti-hero of Nazis on the Nile. An acolyte of Goebbels, this was a man who dashed off 27 hate-filled books, including Jewry and Knavery, Blood and Race, and Jews Are Looking at You, between 1933 and the end of the war. Yeah, he was writing political advisor and anti-Israel propagandist for Gamal Abdel Nasser von Leers. Let's look at this Johann von Leers guy.
Something too.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Dude, like the most one of the most publicized books in the Arab world to this day is Mein Kampf and the Protocols of Elders of Zion, the thing that we read.
You think we're ever going to finally,
Cartman, yeah. Here you go. Let's see. Johann von Leers. Hold on. Oh, this is like one of these AI audios. Oh my God. Hold on. There's got to be like some kind of
I found an article.
Okay.
It's called Nazis in Cairo. Can I read it?
Yeah, sure.
So it says here, Middle East Arab countries, particularly Egypt, have been the haven for Nazis after World War II, as these countries have rejected extradition claims in every single instance so far. I'm trying to figure out when this article was written. I'll tell you. This has been revealed in the course of investigations conducted into the fate of Nazi war criminals who have disappeared at the end of the war. Most of these old Nazis have found profitable employment in Nasser's, that's the president of Egypt, in Nasser's anti-Jewish propaganda agencies, or in one or other of the military or paramilitary organizations. Their extradition is often sought by Soviet Russia or other communist countries. The spearhead of Arab anti-Jewish propaganda is the Institute for the Study of Zionism, established in Cairo in 1955 for the purpose of leading the, quote, struggle against Zionism and international Jewry.
Yeah.
There's a, anyway, its director is one Mahmoud Saleh, for a long time believed to be an Egyptian, but since found to be the escaped German Nazi Alfred Zingler.
Yeah.
Let's just hang that. I'm going to let that hang there for a moment.
Yeah. Dude, I'm going to try to get this free trial so I can read this article.
The Institute. Okay. The Institute is heavily. I'll say. Let me repeat what I just said. Its director, again, the struggle, the Institute for the Study of Zionism in Cairo in 1955 for the purpose of leading the, quote, struggle against Zionism and international Jewry. Its director is one Mahmoud Saleh, who for a long time thought to be an Egyptian, but since found to be the escaped German Nazi Alfred Zingler. The Institute is heavily staffed by German Nazis, and the Egyptian Saleh's chief advisor was, until his death in 1965, Dr. Johannes von Leers. You just read about it, right?
Yeah.
Alias Omar Amin.
He converted to Islam later on in life. Omar Amin.
He was the specialist on Jewish questions in Dr. Goebbels' propaganda ministry.
Correct.
Others are Louis Haydn, who before the war worked in the Reich's security main office, the RSHA, and during the war was a high official in the German press agency. Also, Dr. Werner Witschall and Hans Appler, alias Saleh Shafar.
Unbelievable.
Both formerly of Goebbels' propaganda ministry.
Amazing.
Among the many publications of the Institute is an Arabic version of the Protocols of the Elders and Hitler's Mein Kampf, translated into Arabic by Louis Haydn, copies of which were found in the knapsacks of Egyptian soldiers during the 1956 Sinai campaign. The Institute maintains regular contact with a number of neo-Nazi organizations in Germany and in other countries. The Institute for the Study of Zionism is, however, not the only anti-Jewish propaganda vehicle of Egypt. The Information Bureau of the United Arab Republic, for instance, published in 1964 a booklet. It's called The Problem of the Palestine Refugees, which was widely distributed in Germany by Arab-German friendship groups. This booklet was full of anti-Jewish propaganda and tried to justify the persecution of the Jews throughout the ages. It led to protests in the German Bundestag and was ultimately confiscated by the Land Court of Dusseldorf on the 6th of October, 1964. Arab friendship organizations outside the Arab countries, particularly in the Federal German Republic, are known to be led and supported primarily by extreme neo-Nazi elements. It actually says right-wing neo-Nazi elements, but neo-Nazis are left.
Yeah.
The establishment of these friendship leagues was usually the initiative of the Arab League's office. One of these bodies in federal Germany is the organization Friends of Cairo, which was founded in 1959. Oh man, one second. By such well-known right-wingers, left-wingers really, as Peter Kleist, former SS lieutenant colonel, spokesman of the Deutsche Reichspartei in the 1953 election campaign, and now foreign editor of the right-wing, Deutsche Wochenzeitung. Kurt Zeisel, a well-known Nazi writer, Hans Werner Hagen, former press expert in Goebbels' propaganda ministry after the war, a regular contributor to Kleuter Blätter, a pseudo-intellectual magazine. Okay.
Sounds like East German television presents sprockets. Ridiculous.
Another damn it, Germany. You know, aside from everything, the language. What's going on? Anyway,
Yeah.
another founder, another founding member, Dr. Hans Grimm,
Hello.
a celebrated author
Hello,
during
Hans.
the Hitler period, and after the war, actively engaged in an effort to rehabilitate Hitler, who died in 1959.
Gosh.
Oy vey. A similar body is the Friends of German Arab Understanding in Bonn, Switzerland, whose publications contain frequent anti-Semitic references. In Belgium, the Centre de Documentation pour la Collaboration avec les peuples arabes
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
is headed Clip is headed by the former Belgian SS man Paul E. Laurent, now active in Flemish fascist movements.
Not to be confused with Yves Saint Laurent.
Yeah, so the Flemish terrorists are also Nazis, right?
Yeah.
All right. Arab, that the Flemish, you know, like in Belgium, Dutch area, you know, like, you know, they're
Yes, correct.
you know, the Flemish and the anyway. Arab League representatives frequently give interviews to neo-Nazi papers like Deutsche National Zeitung, which is in turn invariably extol the Arabs' cause. Okay. So, all right, this is an excerpt from, this is page 6. I'm trying to see. View issue of table content. 1 second. Okay, this is a paper. This was written in 1967. Patterns of Prejudice, Volume 1.